right, so we have it up to about 0 degrees Celsius on the inside of the tent here right now. It's a very, very cold day in the north. As you guys just seen outside, it's about negative 30 degrees Celsius. So Vivian and I are back over to the winter camp here today. We have another meal we're about to cook up. Very stoked about this one. We haven't cooked this in any of our videos beforehand, and it came from a recommendation from another viewer. We'll give you guys a shout out here shortly. But in the meantime, it's quite dark in here, as you guys see, and we need to get some lighting going. So I'm trying something a little bit different here today. We have this Jackery 1000 Explorer. That is a very interesting piece of equipment. I'm very excited to try this out. I'll break down the specifications and let you guys check out this cool device. But I think beforehand, I need to get some light here so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. So what's pretty cool about this device here is that I was talking in my last, maybe it might have been 2 or 3 videos ago, where I had mentioned I was looking for a alternative power solution to my generator. You know, running the generator out here is very convenient, but it's quite noisy. And when we're out here in the remote north like this, we want to keep things quiet, keep things calm. And by having a external battery source like this here, may meet those requirements. So we're going to test it out here today, see how it works, and let you guys know. So before we move on, let's see if we can get this light going. I'm pretty excited about this. So it is quite dark in here. So let's check it out here. So on the front we have some 110 inputs here. Okay. Wow.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, that was pretty neat.
That's nice.
So right off the bat, yeah, we're pulling about 56 watts at the moment here. You guys can see that the battery is charged at 100%. And doesn't seem to be struggling at all. Let's have a quick look on the outside of the tent to see if the exterior tent lights are on. And yes, they are. So that's pretty neat. Super cool. But what I want to go through, guys, real quick is just some basic technical specifications here. I'm sure you guys will have a lot of questions. I do recommend you refer to the Jackery website. I'll do my best here to give you guys a breakdown. So for input charging, you can charge a Jackery 4 ways through an AC charging port. We also have a Anderson input, which I'll explain to you what that is in a moment. You can also charge off a car 12-volt charger, or you can charge off a generator. The Anderson input is super cool because you have the ability to use solar to charge this device up, and I'm really looking forward to using this summer for our canoe trips and for some of our van life adventures and some of our car camping. So Jackery also sent me some solar panels here. I actually have 2 of these solar panels, which are very impressive. The build on these are very durable. You have this little kickstand here, which is kind of neat. So if you do want to position this towards the sun, this has a little Velcro patch and a kickstand here. So you're able to do this, open up the solar panel and position it towards the sun here. Now everything about this solar panel feels very durable, feels like it's good, high quality. And what I really like about it are these little magnetic retention points here. When they engage, you have a very positive connection. You see how that slips together there. In order to open it up, you actually had to put some effort into it. So I think these things are going to do quite well for traveling back and forth on the snow machine or in the canoe during summer camping. We also have these little metal grommets here, which are really neat. I kind of envision myself having the canoe with my solar panels open up and strapped down on the canoe. And as we're paddling, we're charging up the unit here. Very, very cool. You have a little pouch here on the front, which you can store your cables in. These are your connection points here. And the build quality on these are quite impressive. When we look down here, we have our DC charging. You have a USB-C, a 5-volt, and a quick 3.0 charging port here. You also have a little 12-volt, 10-amp car port here as well. That's pretty standard. For the AC power section here, you have three different 110-volt outputs. Actually, what I should try to do in the meantime is see if I can load this thing up and see how it performs. So we do have our satellite phone here. See how this does. Now I know this thing is already charged up, I think at about 90%. Yep, there we go. Also have the GPS here. I'll give this a go as well. Whoop, something just kicked in. So these AC adapters are quite large, so I'm going to have to use the extension cord. Make sure I have a available port. Yes, I do. There we go. So right now we're pulling about 65 to 68 watts. So according to Jackery's manual, if you're running a 60 watt car fridge or a cooler, you're good for about 66 hours running off this Jackery. If you have a 90 watt drone, you're good for about 90 recharges. For the AC outputs here, if you have a 12-inch 30 watt laptop, you're good for about 12 and a half recharges. Or if you're running a 60 watt 32-inch TV, you're good for around 14 hours. Or if you're using a 60 watt drone, you're good for 17 charges. That's incredible for the power capacity in this device here. Also, if you're using the USB outputs over here for a smartphone, you're good for 100 recharges. Or if you're using the 5 watt output here for like a motion camera, like a GoPro, you're good for 180 charges. That's very, very impressive. So the internal capacity of the lithium battery inside of this Jackery Explorer 1000 is 46.4 amp hours, or about 21.6 volts. That equates to 1,002 watt hours. This thing is pretty lightweight. It only weighs around 10 kilograms, or around 22 pounds. And it's quite impressive, to say the least. It has a LED light that's on the side here, which is rather convenient. It has a life cycle of around 500 charges, an operating temperature of -10 degrees Celsius all the way up to 40 degrees Celsius. The recharging temperature should be between 0 and 40 degrees. So we made sure today that the tent was up above 0 degrees before operating this Jackery here. The warranty on this device is 24 months, and the technical support on this is lifetime. So very impressed with this Jackery so far. I'm going to set this thing aside now. We're going to start cooking our food for this evening and see how this thing performs. If you guys are interested in this Jackery, check out the links in the description box down below. All of the information will be there. And again, shout out, thank you Jackery for providing us this Jackery Explorer 1000 to test out here at the Canvas tent. So pretty happy with that. All right, so currently we're burning some pine in the wood stove, and given the fact it's down to minus 33 at the moment, it's supposed to go to minus 40 tonight. Want to make sure we get a lot of heat in that tent, so we're going to chop up some birch to bump up those BTUs. That should be good. So while we're waiting for the tent to warm up, on my error here, I let the wood stove die out and kept the flap open. You guys can probably see my breath there. It's back down to about -10 degrees Celsius here at the moment. So that's right at the threshold here for our Jackery. So let's hope that does not turn off on us in the middle of cooking. So tonight's meal will be a curry chicken tagine. And I want to give a shout out to Semi, S-I-M-I, I believe the channel's name is. We'll put a link for their channel in the description box down below. And if you guys are looking for a shout out in our next video, you can give us a recommendation of what you would like to see us cook, And if it appeals to our appetite in that time, we will pick it, make arrangements, and feature that in our next video. So we actually purchased this, we shouldn't say we, Vivian purchased this brand new cast iron tagine pot. And we've had this now for quite a while, and I'm really stoked that we're actually using it over here tonight at the Canvas tent. It's going to be a great meal. So we cook our curry chicken a little bit different. I invite you guys to try this recipe. If not, stick to your own recipe, I guess. But we like to use bacon. So I have diced up some thickly cut bacon, and we're going to fry that up into the skillet here, and we're going to get some bacon grease, and then we're going to start cooking our chicken down in that bacon and bacon grease. It adds a real nice flavor to it. We also like to add some red pepper and red onion to our curry as well. It has a real nice flavor to it. We have a curry sauce here and some rice. So in the meantime, we're going to get this started over here on the propane. And once it's all ready to go, we're going to finish it off on a wood stove and let that simmer for a few hours. And then we'll dig into a delicious meal later this evening. So I guess we'll get our propane going, eh?
Yes.
Nice. Oh yeah. We get our water boiling for the rice. Okay, so next we'll add our chicken. This is going to be so good. I love the smell of bacon cooking in our tent. So this is 2 chicken breasts that we had cut up into small cubes. All of that deliciousness flavor within that pork is going to transfer into our chicken. Good. Let that simmer. Okay, we're going to add our veggies. So the weight of this lid is actually quite heavy. It creates almost like a pressure cooker effect. So we're going to let this sit for maybe 10-15 minutes. Okay, so we're going to transfer this over to the wood stove and let it finish on the stove. Okay, let's see how this looks. Ooh, smells spicy. All right, guys, we're going to dig in and get this little taste test here. Looking forward to this. Curry is such a wonderful spice to cook with. The only thing we're missing is some naan bread.
That's really tasty.
This is going to be some comfort food here tonight. I tell you that. All right, guys, we want to give a shout out to Jackery. Thank you for providing us with the Explorer 1000. I'm looking at the consumption rate right now, and we're still at 86%. This thing's been running for about 3 hours now. It's charged up all of our electronic devices. It's been powering our main light here with no issues at all. The tent temperature is fluctuating between 5 degrees Celsius and -5 degrees Celsius. That's a very comfortable zone for us, considering we're still wearing our winter clothes here and we're cooking food. And the Jackery is performing excellent. So again, thank you, Jackery. If you guys want to have any information, check out the links in the description. And other than that, we're going to sit back, relax, enjoy the rest of the evening. We have a big day ahead of us tomorrow, so we're looking forward to getting up early tomorrow and continuing on with our day that we have planned. And if you guys are not following us on Facebook, check us out there at Up North of 60. If you're not following us on Instagram, check us out there at Dave's True Life. If you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you click that subscribe button, click that bell notification, and select all to receive notifications for future videos. And other than that, we're good. Awesome. Peace.